Vandaag zijn we in de Wisseloord Studios in Hilversum, waar bekende artiesten als Mick Jagger, David Bowie, The Police en onze eigen Ilse de Lange hun hitalbums opnamen. Vandaag praten we met Fish, de ex-zanger van Marillion. Hij heeft een nieuw album uit, na heel veel jaar, The Feast of Consequences. Voor dit nieuwe album zocht Fish inspiratie. Via een vriend kwam hij op het thema de Eerste Wereldoorlog.
World War I came into it because a friend of mine who is a battlefield tour guide as a hobby had said, look, if you want inspiration for this album, you've got to come out to the Somme. Both my grandfathers had fought in World War I.
De beide grootvaders van Fish vochten in de Eerste Wereldoorlog.
What I wanted to do was to write something that was very deeply respectful to the period, that was historically accurate.
Hij vond het belangrijk dat alle historische feiten op het album klopten.
Lyrics are my mainstay. Words are my thing. I don't play a guitar, I don't play a keyboard. It's words and sung, you know.
Als Fish een album maakt, denkt hij vanuit de tekst. Dat is zijn houvast.
This is a long story, very, very short. But what happened was that the area that I went to in the Somme, I discovered that I was actually sleeping in a bed and breakfast place that was built in what used to be no man's land. And I was sleeping 100 yards away from where my grandfather had dug a trench, where he was actually fighting.
Tijdens een reis belandde Fish in een herberg, vlak bij de plaats waar zijn grootvaders hadden gestreden in de Eerste Wereldoorlog. Het maakte diepe indruk op hem. Het is verwerkt in The Feast of Consequences.
Tear a page from the book of faces. Throw your letters in an open fire. I couldn't see that I still despise you, but I'm finding it harder not to. After all that was said and done, it's time this thing was over. Did I want you to change your mind? Well, I don't honestly think so. Picking me up like a lovesick puppet, you were dancing me over a burning flame. You kept pulling the strings, the few strands left remaining. You just wouldn't let me go. Running out of words, running out of lines, running out of things to say, running out of heart, running out of love, running out of reasons to stay. There was something so deeply flawed. In the beginning we tried to deny it, just like a crack in a china doll, a masquerading silence, where we tried to recognize just who exactly we are trying to hide. We played a role in this grand design, for the sales in our own disguises. Running out of pills, running out of smoke, running out of fine white wines, running out of road, running out of fuel, running out of places to hide. It's a feast of consequences, can't ignore a feast of consequences. Bearing down on a feast of consequences. It looks like I'm dining alone. Running out of world, running out of hope, running out of resources, running out of time, running out of space, running out of tomorrows. If we only knew then just what we know now, would we have changed our minds? Would we have changed our minds? Running out of time, running out of time, running out of time. It's a feast of consequences. Can't walk away from a feast of consequences. Can't ignore this feast of consequences. It looks like I'm dining alone.